Hello. Look who's out here re-upping their sub like some kind of hero. Peace, starlings, for an elder is among us. Peace, starlings, for an elder is among us. Coco Village. Hello. I'm wearing a jean jacket. A branded jean jacket. What's up? Flynn's destroying everything under my desk. Oh my god. He's holy shit. So much is happening right now. Okay, we've got a dog under the table. Crimson just fucking broke my brain. Then, and also there's a dog in jean jacket. Holy god. Breaking my brain right out the gate. I'm gonna give the dog a treat. Thank you. Did I read that right? Did that say 50? I'm seeing, did that say 50 or 10? That was 10. It looks like 10. Twitch is saying 10. I think Crimson has the 50 in the name, and I scanned it as that. I was like, what in the fuck? Like right out the gate. Jesus. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Let's give the dog a treat, because he's giving you all the butt. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna hydrate. God, there's so much happening right now. All right. Here we go. Come on, bud. You get out from under there. Come on. Okay. Praise. Look at that butt. Look at that butt. Amazing. Hello. Praise. As is tradition, we've got treats. Treats are now in the boy. Yeah. Hey everyone, how's it going? I got the sample of some new merch in, which has the Skulls Keep Happening brand embroidered there, as well as on the arm, which is rad. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make some tweaks, because this is why I don't just like throw stuff up too quickly. I'm not thrilled with how high up this is. I'm gonna place this further down, and I think I'm gonna move the other logo to this wrist instead of here, so that it'll be on like opposite sides. So that when you're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, you put your hand over the logo, but the logo will still be visible for all of the Pledge of Allegiances that you do. So yeah, but also it still came out pretty fucking good, even if I want to make a couple of tweaks. So wearing it. How's it going, everybody? My name is Endeavorance. It is Thursday, April 3rd, because it's the day after Liberation Day. Are we feeling liberated? Oh, we lost the dog. Oh, there he is. Flynn's feeling liberated. Flynn is feeling very liberated, apparently. Based on what I'm seeing. Opossum Ollie, thank you for the gifted sub. Elena Wolf Rider, welcome in. We also got Crimson at 20 months. Weedy Potter at 12. A Thomas Steven at 6. Thank you all so very much for the subs, for the gifts, for the follows. Welcome in. The dog is frozen. We've got a lot to talk about today, because it's the day after Liberation Day. So if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about when I say Liberation Day, essentially yesterday Trump made a big deal out of announcing a whole bunch of tariffs. It was like the day that he was going to announce all of his big tariffs on literally every country, including multiple countries that are uninhabited. So we've got tariffs on territories that only contain fucking like penguins. So that's fun. Beefcake Bambi, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so they just slapped a shitload of tariffs on everything and everyone based on virtually nothing. Like it came out that like people figured out what math they used to determine the tariffs for everything, and I don't remember the exact formula. I haven't really looked that deep into it, but it was like some completely misconstrued use of several different types of like economic indicators and trade deficit, whatever. I don't know. They basically just came up with shitty random numbers for every country, and they were like, this is your tariffs now. And I want everybody to be aware that they want the tariffs in place because with the tariffs in place, they can just pass that cost onto the consumer and then get rid of more taxes from businesses. Like the big corporations that want more tax cuts are gonna get those because the consumer is going to be getting a whole slew of new taxes that they don't want to call taxes. They're just tariffs, which is a tax, but it doesn't matter. Most people don't then make that second level connection. So unfortunately, things are about to get very expensive, like 30 to 70% in some cases. Certain cars will cost multiple thousands of dollars more. General groceries are going to get expensive. Electronics are going to get expensive. If you had something on your like shit that I wanted to buy list and you have the budget for it now, pull the trigger, honestly, because it's going to get far more expensive if you wait. Like now is the time to buy something that you wanted to get if you kind of need it and have the budget for it. Don't run out and purchase a bunch of shit that you don't need because hyperconsumerism bad. But if you needed to like get a new phone for the next several years or a new laptop or whatever, something that will last several years that you've been like kind of putting off the purchase of, now better than later. So let's see what chat is saying, and then we're gonna watch the stocks just go down, very very down, and then we're gonna talk about stuff. But let me tell you, yeehaw. Him Diana Jones says, I'm trans, so I'm extra liberated today. Yeah, you know, we put the tariffs on gender. Aren't you feeling liberated with your gender tariffs? PS5 is on my list, says Crazy Sanity. Yeah, I yesterday had a random impulse. I was like, I should look into a PS5 Pro. I don't know why I had this thought. I don't want a PS5 Pro, but I was like, I should get a PS5 Pro. For literally no reason. It left my brain as quickly as it appeared, but it did appear, and I need to talk to my therapist about that. Oh yeah, last night fighting back tears while working, asking my husband, "Are we going to be okay?" Or we are going to be okay, right? The approach that I've been taking with regards to like economic terror, right? Like being terrified about. I just realized I didn't lower my music. I'm sorry. I apologize. You could probably barely hear me. I understand and empathize and feel that like economic turmoil and I guess economic anxiety. The approach that I've been taking to deal with that has been, we're all in the same boat, and if it's truly to the point that any financial planning I have done is null and void because of how bad things have gotten, I have bigger problems to worry about. Like if I have to fight off the marauders, you know, like if it gets that bad, it's not a problem anymore. You know, if it gets so bad that we're all just fucked, we've got a different world to navigate at that point, and it's a very different set of problems to worry about. I don't think I'll be worrying about the how much my whatever I've got in my 401k has gone up or down based on the stock market if no one's able to purchase food. You know? If we have lentils and water, we'll be okay. Yeah, get beans too, dried beans. Beans and rice. That's the play. That is the play. Beans and rice. It is a complete meal. It's like I forget why. They do like a thing. Let's look into this. We need to learn. Let's learn, okay? We're gonna learn. Why is beans and rice a complete meal? Is it a complete meal or is it like a complete protein? Complete protein. That's what it is. Okay. Reject all cookies. I'm not talking about cookies. I'm talking about beans and rice. Why would I want cookies right now? Accessibility and affordability. Rice and beans are healthy. Complete protein source. Here we go. One of the most significant benefits of eating beans and rice is that they form a complete protein. This reassures you that your protein needs are being met, as proteins comprise most plant-based foods. Beans with rice. Okay, beans which have a high amounts of lysine but low amounts of methionine, with rice which has high amounts of lysine, but what? So they both have high lysine and low methionine? Whatever. Point is, it makes a complete protein. Beans and rice, which are cheap, last forever, really easy to cook, very tasty. Beans and rice, who knew? Who knew? Yo, can we talk about red beans and rice being like the best? Like red beans and rice, out of control. Switch 2 Direct yesterday. Thoughts? Yeah. Yes. I can talk about that. Okay, so this is hilarious. For those who did not pay attention to the Switch 2 announcement, pull that up as well. Get the old picturino up. So it's basically a Switch, but then they put a 2 on it. It does look nice. It does look good, visibly at least. So the Switch 2, they announced it yesterday. Nintendo did like a whole thing. The first thing they did was spend the first like 10 minutes of the announcement showing that they like made a Discord like competitor on Nintendo's internet platform or whatever. It was the dumbest reveal I've ever seen. They were like, oh look, you can like get this camera and like play games with your friends, and it streams their screens to your console at like 2 frames per second. And they were really proud of that, and they kept showing video of like a 4-way video call of people playing Mario Kart, but the callers, like the other people's screens, were refreshing at like 1 frame a second. It was really embarrassing looking. Totally on par from Nintendo. Anyway, otherwise, it's got like basically all of the upgrades that we were hoping for, more or less. Like it's mostly backwards compatible. It's got a bigger screen. It's got a 1080p screen. Apparently the handheld screen can do 120 FPS. It's going to have 4K output support at 60 FPS in docked mode, because the dock is going to have an extra fan on it. The Joy-Cons connect magnetically now instead of that weird whatever. They kept showing this one, the new gimmick this time is that the Joy-Cons can be used like a computer mouse. So you can like hold them like with you like break them off the console, hold them vertically, place them on a surface, and then you can move it around like a mouse and use the trigger to click. And you can use that to play certain games. They're really pushing that. That's their gimmick with this one. I don't see it. I don't see it being particularly useful. Like, I don't see it. Personally, I play my Switch almost exclusively docked. So like, I don't, that's never going to matter to me. I'm seeing a couple people ask, did they fix the drift? I mean, they're not going to say that, right? Like they're not going to say, oh, we fixed the drift also. But presumably they did that because there was massive amounts of lawsuits, and they probably don't want to go through that again. So yeah, I mean, I don't see. I already saw some people say that it's ass, and I already got, like, it hasn't been announced for more than 24 hours, and I've already gotten comments on my last episode of Stuff Keeps Happening, which I closed by saying that you can pre-order the Switch in April. I already have comments of people being like, the Switch 2 is terrible, blah, 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 just get a Steam Deck. And it's like, it hasn't been 24 hours. We don't need to do the console wars thing already. Like, we don't need to do this. We don't ever need to do the console wars thing. I have a Steam Deck. I'm also probably going to get a Switch 2. You don't need to pick a camp. You don't need to have a camp. These are products. They're electronics. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pleased. I wanted a Switch that has 4K output. That is literally the only thing I wanted from a Switch 2. I wanted a Switch that could run more modern stuff at 4K. That's it. That's all I wanted. So, like, this checks the one box I was hoping for. Yay. And the fact that it's backwards compatible. Like, if it wasn't backwards compatible and was the Switch 2, that would be the dumbest shit imaginable. But I just want to be able to play, like, I wanted to be able to play my existing Switch games at 60 FPS in 4K on my existing TV. And I have not been playing my Switch because, like, it's genuinely painful to play a console that is pushing 1080p onto a 4K screen and can barely maintain 30 FPS. Meanwhile, my, like, PS5 and computer are pushing crazy pixels. And it's like really genuinely gives me a fucking headache to go and play games on my Switch now. I just want to play some games that are on my Switch. So I'm excited to have an option that'll actually be like a native experience now. I haven't looked into the game pricing stuff too much. I've seen something about $90 games. $100 physical games. Yeah, did they actually say that the base price of Switch games is going to be higher or something? Switch to game price. Like, where's that $90 figure coming from is my question. I don't want images. Okay, so they're doing the $70 and $80 price range now. Plus 10 for physical. Yeah, I mean that's where most games are now anyway. I talked about this last time, like the whole thing about software being deeply undervalued and people not wanting to pay more for software. And like, I'm not sitting here advocating that things should be more expensive. Don't take this as that. Things should be less expensive. Rather, things should be more affordable, which is to say we should have more money, right? Video games have not gone up in price basically ever. Like essentially ever. They were $60 for over 20 years. Nothing aside from like Arizona iced tea and the Costco hot dog meal has maintained their price for that long. So especially with AAA studios doing much bigger productions, which I would argue they're going way overkill and they should do what they can to peel back. There's a lot of bloat. There's way too much money being put into marketing, and it's just their budgets are way overblown to begin with. So yeah, things are way overpriced and people don't have the money to afford them. But also, people who make games and software should be paid for their work because they put in a ton of work for it. And a lot of people, especially in the games industry, are incredibly talented developers, artists, 3D renderers, all sorts of stuff, and they get paid shit compared to what they could be doing in other industries because there's this weird mythos about like the games industry being a reward to be a part of it in the first place. And that has kind of led to this whole like we'll never raise the price of games. And now raising the price of games from 60 to the actual market adjustment is causing outrage. It's all bad. It's all bad and dumb. And it would be so much easier if games were just priced, if it was understood that games are priced at different levels, right? And like, that's okay. And we kind of have that. There's like the sort of the $5-ish range, which is just like a simple little game. Then there's the $20-ish range, which is going to be like your Stardew Valleys. Then the 30s, which are going to be your like recently released indie stuff like Hades style games. 40, I would say, is your like budding studio that is putting out something meaningful, but is not a gargantuan budget. And then you just jump to the 60, 70, 80, 90. I've seen the $120 like super packs that include all of the DLC and a bunch of bonus currency and shit for various games. That's when it starts getting stupid and predatory. Like, stop doing that. We can pay you an exposure. I'd rather wait until a game is on sale. That too. Yeah, like the problem with Nintendo games is that they don't go on sale. Like that is a problem. Nintendo should not be selling their games for full price 10 years, 20, 30 years on. The fact that they will look you in the eyes and sell you a retro game title for full price. Guts. It takes guts. That's the same kind of bravery that Apple had when they got rid of the headphone port. What if all the games are imports? Will they get tariffs even if digital? I don't think that tariffs apply to digital goods. I'm pretty sure they don't. Let's check. Do tariffs apply to digital goods? I'm fairly certain no. It won't hit Canadian software. They do not apply on intangible property such as software or technology licenses. So, no. I feel like game companies are just doing this to force people to buy digital games now. Yes, I mean, it's nice that with the Switch 2, they brought back download play from the DS. If you ever had a DS, there were a handful of games you could get where if one of your friends had the game, anyone who was around could play that game, like in multiplayer. It was famous, like Mario Kart could do that. If one person had Mario Kart, up to, I think, 3 other players could do download play, where their console would basically like stream a part of the game from yours and let everybody play even if you don't own it. So they're bringing that back with the Switch 2, including over the internet. So you can connect to your friends over the internet and play a game with them if one of you has that game. So that's a good kind of middle ground with digital games. I mean, obviously physical media is the more sound investment, but if there's going to be digital media and if that's going to be more prevalent, it's cool to see more options for sharing digital titles. I think they're also going to allow you to share a digital title to a friend entirely. I don't remember exactly the deal there, but there's something about being able to like share a digital download to a friend as if you just gave them the cartridge. In fact, let me look that up too. I'm curious. Switch to digital game share. Hello, Robot Fish Girl. Welcome in. Game share. Oh yeah, also it's backwards compatible with the Switch 1, which is crazy. Some of the Switch 2 features with download play will work with people who just have a Switch 1. Share your games in person. Share via game chat. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know how you do the actual lending it to somebody, but someone here said that you can 14 days max, but you can share games. That's cool. They should bring download play to the regular Switch 2. I would buy more games if I could play with my friends in other states. They're bringing it to the Switch 1 as a player. So you can't, I can hydrate. Thank you, Sylvie. They're making it so that you, if you have a Switch 1, you'll be able to play shared games, but not give them out. Until they tell you can't do that anymore. I mean, that'll likely be a thing until their infrastructure for supporting the console goes away. In which case, yes, that is when the digital, any digital copy of anything is a lease, right? If you purchase a movie, in air quotes, from Apple TV or whatever, it's a lease. You only have it, one, for as long as, ooh, that's a good color spin. One, for as long as they are allowed to give it to you. If Apple loses the rights to be able to give you that thing that you purchased, it'll go away. It's the same for games. It's the same for digital games. That said, there is something to be said about the fact that you still can technically get a digital game onto a SD card to preserve it. It's not like you can't do that. It's not straightforward, and it's probably going to break terms of service, but it's technically a thing you can do. Color spun to my favorite colors. Perfect. Ooh, it ended up nice. Which is why piracy isn't theft. I mean, it's not theft from... It's still theft. It's just a matter of if the theft matters. And it matters, the thing that matters is whether or not you were going to otherwise purchase it and from whom. But I don't give a shit if you pirate things or not. It's not a matter of a moral thing. Colors go burr. That's a thought. How long until Nintendo forces the Switch 1 into obsolescence? Nintendo's not actually the worst with regards to forced obsolescence. They support for a while. It did suck that they recently shut down the 3DS, but they supported the 3DS for a long time. And they kept it compatible with basically everything back to the original DS. So you essentially had a console that was multiple generations worth of consoles in one that lasted for 2 decades. At which point, there are legitimately just better ways to play DS games now than on a DS. Robot Fish Girl says, gotta lurk for work, but wanted to say thanks for all the work you do. The TikToks help me force my dad to be generally aware. And also that steampunk dice rug is cool as hell and I want it. Okay, lork time. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And yeah, it is a rad rug. It really is. If I buy a copy, I don't feel bad pirating a copy I own. Absolutely. Yeah, if I've paid for it, I'm gonna just get a copy. Fuck you. Like, if you buy a copy of a show, you should be able to have it. It is insane that we've lost that, right? Even if you buy a Blu-ray, like if you buy physical media, it's like technically against the terms to rip it off of that media. Like, you've purchased a disc with the file on it, but you're like technically not allowed to fuck with that file, which is dumb. That's like saying, oh, you've purchased this, I don't know, refrigerator, but you're not allowed to put magnets on it. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do with the thing that I purchased. Guy with the crowbar motif does not care if you pirate. Shocker. Massive shocker. Yeah, if you had a 3DS, you could play games as old as 2004. You know what was a great game? I dropped my pen. That's not the game. I'm pretty sure I brought this game up on stream before. What was it called? I just remember that should pull it up. Yes. This game. Feel the Magic XXXY. This game rules. Known as Kimi no Tame Nara Shinaru, I Would Die For You. And in Europe and Australia is called Project Rub. Is a minigame video compilation developed by Sonic Team, published by Sega for the DS. It's really fucking good. So you play as a dude who's down bad for this girl, right? Like, there's this girl and she's got a bikini on. In the American in the non-Western version, she's like totally naked. Oh my god. And you're down bad. And while you're down bad, you try to impress her, but you're unimpressive. You're a very unimpressive man. And you end up joining a group of like stuntmen called the Rub Rabbits. I'm not making this up. This is a real thing. This is the plot. You join a group of hey, it's like right here. Yeah, it follows the attempts of a young male protagonist trying to impress a young woman while being aided by a group of people known as the Rub Rabbits. The game consists of a series of mini-games in relation to the overall plot. Let's read the plot. Follows the events of a young man who meets a girl and instantly falls in love. However, she is not nearly as receptive, and the protagonist attempts to win her over, ranging from romantic gestures to protecting her from a stampede of bulls. As he attempts this, he is assisted and cheered on by a group of men called the Rub Rabbits. However, he is also pursued by a romantic rival antagonist, vying for the girl's affection, using his incredible intelligence and technology to steal her from him. So yeah, you've got like a bad guy who's like a evil dude trying to also kidnap girl because he's also down bad. And so you have to like do a bunch of stunts and fight evil dude. So like this is the first mini game. Like, this all starts because as you're like walking down the street and the Rub Rabbits are like walking along with a fish in a fishbowl, like a goldfish in a fishbowl, and they bump into someone and the fish shoots out of the bowl and goes into the guy's throat and he starts choking on goldfish. And so the first mini game is you performing the Heimlich maneuver on various people choking on goldfish. That's how the game starts.
That's rough, buddy.
That's the first level. And then it ends with a robot battle in space. Like, let me pull up the final boss fight here. Because it very much just ends with a robot battle in space. Let's see. Feel the magic final boss. That's box.
Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me.
Final boss. Okay, yeah, Towel and Triumph. Fuck yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the
Oh.
Gaming Lobby. Be sure to grab some pop.
I don't want to hear your voiceover. Just give me the... No! What is this? I don't want your Family Guy opener cutscene. Give me... Okay, here's a long play. We'll do the long play. Jesus. Okay, what do we got here? Perform CPR. Okay. So where's the robot space battle? Okay, wait for it. Okay, well, okay. Here's the goldfish. So this is getting goldfish really wonderful sounds. This is doing a Heimlich maneuver, getting goldfish out of this guy, right? Doing a great job. This is how you impress women. And eventually you're, let's see, there's the, oh yeah, the part where you're like on a desert island and you have to like build a bonfire and keep her warm. Oh yeah, you have to undress her by the bonfire so she can get warm and not be cold from having fallen in the water. Of course. You fight a big snake. Here's a big snake. You gotta make your way through the snake because you got eaten by a big snake on the beach. And she's dancing in the corner cheering you on, I guess. So that's good. You then fight a big boss monster. This is actually a hard fight. This one's actually pretty fucking rough, especially when you do the, there's like a, later on in the game, there's a nightmare, like boss rush, where you have to fight all the bosses again, but they're harder. That one actually is fucking rough. Driving a car, throwing people. Oh, this is one of the nightmare runs. You're driving the car, throwing people and a slingshot at the bad guy to slow him down. And you got the final boss, robot space battle. Right? So he's in his, this is the bad guy. This is the guy that's like trying to steal your girl, right? And he's in a giant space robot shooting rockets at you, and you got to stop all the rockets and then shoot back at him. But the final boss, you're not ready for this. We're gonna get, you're gonna see the cutscene leading up to the final boss, and you're gonna see how the final boss actually goes because it's fucking amazing. Here we go. You cleared it. Everything's good, right? You just beat the big robot fight. Ready? Shut up. Okay, here we go. Big purple guy is bad guy. That's the bad guy. Takes a towel, rubs it on his mohawk, building up that static electricity. Kerblam! That mohawk laser. And he blasts you with the mohawk laser. What are you gonna do? But you've been wearing a helmet this whole time. The reveal. You've got a mohawk of your own. Oh shit! The plot twist? What? Face my ultimate technique. So this is unironically the final boss fight. You are in space, and it's you versus the bad guy, rubbing a towel against your mohawk to generate a laser to be the one to win the tug of war battle. And this is the sounds that it makes. So it's a really fucking good game. What were we talking about? I don't remember how we got on this subject. Oh, backwards compatible 3DS games. Yeah, so I played that game a ton. It was really, really good. It's kind of like a WarioWare-ish kind of game. The sound effects I can't. Ow! I saw somebody ask about the games that were revealed, I think. Let me see. Let me go back and try to find that. What do you think about the games announced at the Switch 2 Direct? The ones I'm hyped for are Metroid Prime 4, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Raiders, Forgotten Land, the Dusk Bloods, Deltarune, and Silksong. I honestly stopped watching after the main hardware release. I saw a few things, mostly like ports that were announced. So I didn't really catch most of those. I would say I'm hyped for Metroid Prime 4 if it actually exists and releases eventually. But I've seen no evidence that it's going to actually release eventually. So. Let's take a look at the stocks. Yeah? Let's see how they're doing. I'm curious. Stock prices. Let's see. Where we got? Let's pull up the sand P. The sand P 500. It down. Why would it be down? Oh, weird. Huh. Did something happen? Did something happen right about here? It says there was an economic event.
Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me.
Let's see the Dow. That's rough, buddy. New economy dropped. Interesting. What happened here? Did something happen? Let's see what oh wow. Oh my god. What? Holy shit. God damn. All right, Apple's down from 225 to 204. Where's Tesla? Tesla's still struggling. Down almost 6% today. Jesus. What is RH? Rawhides? What is RH? The fuck is RH? Excuse me? Oh, they've had a really terrible earnings miss. What is RH? Am I dumb? Does anybody know what RH stock ticker? Restoration Hardware. Really? Well, Restoration Hardware is having a hard time. They're having a very hard time, apparently. Everything's broken. Why is this shit busted? Recently viewed. How's gold? Is gold okay? Gold's holding. It's golding. Oh yeah, gold's doing fine. Invest. Well, you're not supposed to. Gold. Invest in gold when it's do that, I guess. RH is Home Depot. No, it's Restoration Hardware, apparently. Crude oil not doing great. I'm pretty sure Trump was planning to do tariffs on Russian oil because he's suddenly mad at Putin. So, I'm tired of living through historical events, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. My goodness. Let's see. Let's take a look at the old news. I've been loving going to news sites and seeing just like an endless supply of like sad looking finance boys. There's just like a bunch of pictures of like sad finance boys. Oh, they're not here anymore. Where the? Oh, well, here's a sad finance cat. But yeah, sad finance boys. Just like holding their head or like face palming or like looking terrified while holding a clipboard and looking at a graph. That's just been every headline so far. Dow drops 1500s as US stocks lead worldwide sell-off after Trump's tariffs ignite a COVID-like shock. Breaking news, Trump moves to fire several national security officials over concerns that they're not sufficiently loyal. That's normal. What a normal time to be alive.
Hello.
It's insane. Hello, VVVVVVVVVIXVVV. Welcome in. It's bazonkers to me that if you go to AP, they've had just a live update thread for just the Trump presidency since he got into office. Just a live thread because it's nonstop. S&P down 4.3%. Dow Jones down 3.6. NASDAQ was 5.6 lower. It's, quote, plausible that Trump's latest and most severe set of tariffs could reduce U.S. economic growth by 2 percentage points this year and raise inflation close to 5%, according to the multinational financial services company UBS. It's plausible that this was the dumbest, most easily avoidable economic policy imaginable. And everyone was saying this whole time. Crayley, thank you so much. 12 months. Fuck the stonks market. A nation Trump said, quote, nobody has ever heard of, now faces 50% tariffs on exports. What? This fucking guy, this guy has two modes. He's got no one's ever heard of this before, and the likes of which we've never seen before. Everything falls into one of those two categories. It's either he hasn't heard of something and therefore it doesn't exist and no one's ever heard of it before, or he doesn't know how to describe something, so he just chalks it up to the likes of which we've never seen before. And that's it. Those are his moves. I don't care that Democrats warn something about Trump. It's Democrats. That's what they do. The Home Furnishings Association, which represents more than 13,000 U.S. furniture stores, predicted that the tariffs will increase prices between 10 and 46%. Vietnam and China are the top furniture exporters to the U.S. So, hope you didn't want a bed or anything. So, that's neat. Rubio tries to reassure wary allies of U.S. commitment to NATO as Trump sends mixed signals. Rubio is not able to reassure anyone of anything. No one's gonna look at Marco fucking Rubio, little fucking Marco, and be like, well, I feel better now because this man told me that everything is gonna be okay. He is as much of a Trump whipping boy as anyone can be. It's like him and Ted Cruz are the saddest little men in Trump's wake. Like, Trump directly insulted both of these guys and their families and everything they stand for, and they turned around and just sucked his dick for a position. Cruz didn't even get anything out of it. Ted Cruz didn't even fucking get anything after Trump insulted his wife, and all that happened was we got that wonderful sad Ted Cruz picture. All the pictures are sad Ted Cruz. There it is. There it is. This is Ted Cruz phone banking for Trump after getting beaten out of the presidential primary in 2016.
For an elder is among us.
Beautiful. But this is him campaigning on behalf of the man who insulted his wife's appearance. Amazing. Rue the Rubber Ducky, 17 months. I said, God damn. Thank you so much. So much happened that I forgot what he looked like. I mean, he doesn't look like this anymore because he grew that stupid beard and looks terrible. Oh my God. My dude, it's just pubes. Ha. Are we building the wall again? Or their wall updates? I think they're over the wall. They might be trying to do that again. Who knows? But it's all about tariffs now. They're relationship ended with wall. Now tariffs are my best friend. Can't forget that dude's face. He's my state senator, says Sylvie. I am consistently shocked. I know that it's Texas. I know that there's a lot of like angry dumb people and disaffected good people in Texas. Like there's a lot of like disaffected people who would otherwise vote for someone who's not Ted fucking Cruz, but it still blows my mind that Ted Cruz keeps winning his seat in Texas. It's Ted Cruz. Tedithy Cruz. Like everyone hates him. Even Republicans hate him. Truly don't understand. I don't get it. He literally ditched us. Yeah, he's like one of the most embarrassing politicians. Like, period. Him and like Josh Hawley are just deeply embarrassing. The wall is the jealous ex that Mexico is going to show up with in 6 months and be way better off. I hope that this, if anything, sends shockwaves to people who are so easily duped. This was so easily avoidable by just not having voted for this fucker, right? Like you didn't even need to vote for Harris. There were so many people who were like, I'm never going to vote Democrat, or I'm never going to vote Democrat. The two sides of not voting Democrat, being too far right to vote Democrat and being too far left to vote Democrat. And if you don't want to vote Democrat, I don't care. But if you're going to vote for an idiot, like stand on that business and acknowledge that it's your fault. Like acknowledge that you fucked up. Acknowledge that you were duped. You don't even have to say it's your fault, right? Like you were duped. People get duped. That's what happens by professional dupers. They dupe people. But acknowledge that you were duped. I know it's hard. I know that like there's a psychological mechanism to prevent people from acknowledging that they were wrong, because it's very painful. It's very painful to be wrong. It's embarrassing and painful, and is the first step towards actually growing as a person. So if you voted for this shit, and now you can't afford things even more, you got duped. Like, grow from this, learn from this. If you don't actually know about the person you're voting for, don't vote for them. If you think that you know, double check. If you're gonna actually make a statement like, I want Donald Trump to be in charge of the economy because he's better for business and he's good for the economy, you can't end there. You have to say because blah. Why is he better for the economy? Like, everyone who has paid attention to anything has known that this man is a moron and a con man for his entire life. He's a reality TV star. And like everyone who was involved in the reality TV show that he was in agreed that he was a fucking idiot. No one here knows. Everyone was telling you. His former professors were like, this guy does not understand economics. Every fucking economics specialist was like, he doesn't understand economics. But people were so uninterested in listening to smart people that they would rather just hear this dumbass say the word tariff and illegal criminal alien over and over again. And so they voted for him. And like, the problem is that there was a lot of people who voted for him who did just want the aggression towards minorities. Like that's all they were actually voting for. And like they are now having to deal with the fallout of their own idiocy. I keep checking like various conservative online forums, and the general thread right now, like the general sentiment seems to be like, I'm like they have to first state, I'm very happy with the Trump presidency. I just wish he would stop, and then they list basically every flagship thing he's doing right now. They'll be like, I'm so happy with the Trump presidency, and this would be the perfect presidency if he just stopped with the tariffs and stopped like deporting people too fast without having due process and making all these mistakes, and talking about wanting to take over China, and talking about wanting to take over the Panama Canal, and talking about wanting to take over Greenland, and all the other things that he's been doing in all those regards, and then not releasing all the information he said he was going to release about like the Epstein files and shit like that, and not just completely upturning the FBI like he said that he would with Kash Patel. They're all just complaining about the obvious shit that was not going to happen and that was going to happen, but they have to say, I'm still very happy with their presidency. I genuinely do not know what they're happy with. I have not seen them say what they're happy with. They just say they're happy with the presidency. What they're happy with is that people are being deported. That's what they don't want to say. They're happy that people are being deported. They're not happy that their life is still materially worse while this is happening. And they're confused because they thought that the deportations were going to fix everything for them. So like they are, I remember watching a thing recently about cultists and how like there is no amount of evidence that can convince a cultist to be like, well, I was wrong, never mind. Because it's essentially worse than dying. Like it's so hard to leave a cult once you're in it. You have to essentially experience a very slow, long detachment over time from the cult. And this person who was talking about this, it was a TikTok like person who was a former member of a cult and did manage to leave. Thank you, I can hydrate. She was talking about how if the cultists at all start questioning things, that's huge. The fact that these people are saying, I need to, or like, I'm really happy with, is it the knitting cult person? She wasn't knitting. She was just somebody. Maybe it was her, but she was talking about how like they if they're questioning the leader at all, that's huge because you don't do that in the cult, right? Like up until now, it's just been like, haha, so much winning, get fucked, libs. Now it's like, well, I'm really happy with what he's doing, except I really wish he would stop doing all of these things. It's not great. I don't understand why he's doing this. Things are bad for me, but no, I'm still all in. I still am so for it. That's cope, right? And that is the first step towards them having to acknowledge like things are bad. This is not good for me. I need to get away from this. And they're going to slowly and quietly get away from it. So hopefully we see that over time, but it's truly, truly wild to see people question what's going on. Because it gets to a point where the only explanation, the correct explanation, is Trump is a fucking moron and the people who support him are fucking morons. But they can't acknowledge that because then they'd be morons and they'd have to accept that they're morons. But it's so much easier for them to assume that he knows what he's doing and that he has a big master plan and all of this stuff than it is to acknowledge that he just doesn't know what he's doing and these people are dumb and evil. That's it. They just want to screw you over out of money. That is all. That's literally all that's happening. We've elected a cabinet of con people. And that's what we're getting. Conned. Trump, Musk, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, RFK, everyone. In RFK's case, he's just got a busted brain and is trying to get rid of vaccines. As a sociologist, this is the scariest and funniest social experiment. I mean, the problem is that it's just there's so many people who are getting screwed by this, who had nothing to do with it. Especially the people who were like trying to prevent this. The people who were genuinely trying to prevent this are now dealing with the exact fallout that they were told they were idiots for being concerned about. And now we're all dealing with it. Again, if you didn't vote either Kamala or Trump, like, reflect on that, maybe, and reflect on, like, why. But, like, if you, yeah. God. I will maintain, I don't know how much people here are aware of, like, my views on voting, but my view on voting is you should vote. Like, I am an anarchist, and also I think you should vote because there's no reason not to. It's checking a box on a piece of paper. I think people in America put voting on way too high of a pedestal. And I think it's for three reasons. One, people are lazy and don't want to go vote. And so they come up with an excuse as to why it's morally superior to not vote so that they don't have to deal with finding their polling place and going there. I think I think genuinely, that is one of the biggest reasons that people don't vote is pure laziness. And they, instead of just acknowledging that they don't feel like it, they come up with a reason that's like, oh, well, you know, they wouldn't let you vote if it mattered. Or like both parties are the same, so I don't bother. Like, I think you're just lazy. I think you genuinely are just lazy. Then there are people who can't get to the voting station because our voting system in America is absurd and is not a holiday and has limited hours on the day that it is voting day. So you have to find a way to get to a voting station around your schedule, of which there are definitely people who cannot get there. And then there's the people who genuinely think that it doesn't do anything. And I would point to the fact that we have the Trump presidency right now. And I would also point to the fact that there is a tens of billion dollars industry focused entirely on predicting and currying votes. Like there is a multi-billion dollar industry focused solely on trying to get people to vote. That does not exist if votes didn't matter. It straight up would not exist.
That's right, buddy.
Also, there are wild amounts of just like truly unbelievable level of decentralization in our voting system. There are so many polling places. Each polling place is individually run. Then each polling place goes up to a like locality polling place that then goes up to a like state polling place that then goes to a federal polling place. And all of those get tabulated and cross-checked in both directions all the way. So widespread concepts of fraud or manipulating election results in America it's so unlikely. It's so unlikely to me. And if I have to try to decide, like, do I think that the election was stolen through nefarious means in which they changed votes or whatever? Or do I think that people in America are lazy, disaffected, and disenfranchised, and because of one of those three reasons, they didn't vote, but we know the Republican base will always vote? I think that is far more likely and far more far more realistic. Also, not voting is stupid because you should vote for your local stuff. It's not just about the presidency. Like in America, the presidential vote, yes, it's every 4 years and you essentially have to choose one of two war criminals. You don't get to just abstain. Not voting for the president doesn't make you not complicit in the actions of the United States presidency. So like you don't get to take the moral high ground by not having voted for one or the other. Like that is nothing. And voting third party for the US president is mathematically impossible. It is just not going to happen. And like every time that I see people talking about how like, oh, well, it only doesn't happen because people like you say it won't happen, that just tells me that you haven't lived through elections and like you just don't know what you're talking about. Let me get the dog cam. Got to get the dog cam situated now that he's Third parties are completely viable in local elections, and that is where you should be looking into that. But third parties cannot spring up out of nowhere and become a viable presidential candidate party. They just cannot. We've had the Green Party for like a long time now, and they still haven't gotten their shit together. You have to start lower down and work your way up. So going to vote at all, one, lets you choose things that happen in your locality, and two, let you have more of an impact on trying to foster actual grassroots third-party support, if that's how you want to solve things. All of this is predicated on, I don't think we solve things through voting. I think that you should use voting as one of many, many tools in your arsenal to coerce reality closer to a system that you would be able to work with. That is what voting is. It is going in for one day, taking like 10 minutes usually, checking a box on a piece of paper, and moving on with your life. And that's it. And so like I am not putting my faith into the system by voting. But it's absurd to me to think about what is essentially leaving power on the table. Everyone in this country has a little bit of power that you are offered at an election time. And choosing to not do anything with that amplifies the power of everyone else, including the people who want to do the exact opposite of what you want. So not doing that just seems like a foot gun. I don't understand why people would say, I'm straight up not participating in voting, as if they can wipe their hands clean of all the blood on our hands. As a tax-paying US citizen, you are a mass murderer. I don't know what to tell you. Your taxes, like it or not, go towards bombing literally millions. So not voting is not going to more directly stop that than doing other things. If there isn't anyone willing to do anything locally, then sometimes you have to be the person, even if you aren't the perfect candidate. Yes, I'm not equipped to talk about running in local politics because it's not what I do. But you would be shocked how easy it can be to become like a city councilor or even a mayor in some towns. Being a mayor in certain towns is literally a part-time job. So like it is possible that no one else feels like it and you can run as mayor and suddenly you can do mayor things and you can just do that. It only stops sliding forward in time when they focus on small elections. Yeah. Ari says, good morning all. How are we doing today? We're liberated today. We've been liberated from the global markets. So that's good. That's good. Taliesin says, I'm considering running locally from my area in the UK because the Green Party is getting more popular with younger people, aside from those on the alt-right pipeline. Awesome. That's rad. Let us know how it goes. Again, the US is not a nation, but an empire, and empires have an average lifespan of 250 years. Guess the next anniversary is. I hear this a lot. I do think that we are far overdue for a massive correction. Like, I think that the US needs to be humbled, and I think that's what's happening right now. And I saw a good take on this, which is that everything that's happening right now is self-inflicted. This is the kid on a bike that that puts a stick through the spokes meme, right? That's what's happening to the US right now. Is we are fucking ourselves over. None of this needed to happen. Things did not need to get more expensive. We did not need to piss off all of our allies. We did not need to show the entire world that we are not a country that's worth dealing with anymore. We did not need to force our allies to go change their supply chains and change their trade agreements. We didn't need to do any of that. But we're doing it. We didn't need to piss off a whole bunch of countries by detaining their citizens and essentially torturing them because of random, like, border security people wanting to get a fucking high from beating up immigrants. We didn't need to do that, but we are, and it's entirely self-inflicted. So, like, I think we need to be humbled. I don't think the US is going anywhere, but I do think it's going to be a very bumpy ride for a while, unfortunately. Slow decline versus abruptly going blurg at everyone. So there's a lot of people who are accelerationists, right? There's a lot of people on the left who are accelerationist, and they essentially are, their philosophy is more or less good. We should vote for the most possible chaos so that it tears the country apart and we cause, the country to get destroyed, or a civil war or revolution or whatever. These people, one, are going to die in a revolution and either don't care about that or don't think that that's true and think that they're going to be the hero in the revolution, which is not true. Who's saying that? It's a significant contingent of the left are accelerationists. That's just like that's the philosophy of an accelerationist. The gross part of that philosophy is that it essentially just is saying it's not a real actual leftist concept, because it's essentially saying I'm willing to throw everyone who is most likely to be hurt by a revolution and hurt by the destruction of a system under the bus, which is inherently not leftist ideology. Like, you can't, your path to a better world cannot be built on the planned, essentially, genocide of anyone who's not a fully able-bodied white person, which is what would happen if America descended into chaos. So, like, no, I'm not here for accelerationism. Because a lot of people think about revolution and they think about, like, violent uprising in the street, and I think a lot of that comes from the deep-seated desire to be a movie hero for a lot of especially white men in America. But I've said this before, it doesn't need to be a giant violent revolution. Like, a few major unions coming together and striking can constitute a general strike big enough to bring this country to its knees. If like the dock workers and auto workers and like Teamsters maybe all went on strike at once, like a coordinated effort to bring this administration to the bargaining table, the only options then would be the administration would have to bargain or they would send in the National Guard. Either way, there's going to be major changes. And I would bet that they're going to bargain and not send in the National Guard as much as Trump wants to. As much as he would love to unleash the army on disgruntled working class people. I don't think he would do it. Tesla stock went up after Elon said he planned to leave Doge. I've seen stuff about Elon potentially leaving Doge. I've seen. I think what's likely is he's a dweeb, and Trump. He is just an absolute dork, and like Trump doesn't want a dork around him all the time, and I think that he's actually getting a little tired of that. Tellison says, it seems the biggest problem comes from people just being willing to live in ignorance. It's easier. It's also why they don't do things that are wrong, why they don't know that things are wrong, so nothing changes positively. There's a lot of people who are just willing to live in ignorance, yes. There's a lot of people who don't think more deeply about what's going on. And moreover, there's a lot of people who don't live by values. They live by rules. And that's, I think, the default way that people are brought up in at least the US. We're a deeply like Christo-fascist nation, right? Like we're a police state. We are a deeply Christian nation. And all of these things kind of go hand in hand with being subservient to authority, revering authority, revering a god, never questioning authority. And when authority tells you this is how life works, you don't question that. And so when you're presented with the need to conform to society and be an adult, there are two ways to go about it. Shut up and do what you're told, or carve a path based on your values. I truly believe carving a path based on your values is a better idea. That's what's brought me more happiness, in the very least. I don't have policies that I stick to. Like I don't have policy proposals. I don't have politicians that I prefer. It's why I don't like answering the question of like what to identify as politically, because I'll say anarchist because it's the closest, but I don't like answering that question because I don't think about it as politics. I think about it as my values and the applications of my values, and whether or not things are conforming with what I believe are moral and virtuous. And often that's not what's happening. Like often it's not the case that my morals and values are aligning with the law. And I don't think that my morals and values are outlandish. I just want people to be safe, fed, and have time with their families. I want you to have the healthcare that you need. I want you to have a living wage if you're working full time. And I want people who have a need for extra help from society to receive that extra help from society. Because that's what a society does. That's what services are. It's as simple as this. I was at the you know the depot where they've got homes? I was there and I was buying a bunch of heavy stuff. And I was pulling a big cart full of heavy stuff up a hill to my car. I'm, huffing and puffing, dragging this cart full of heavy crap uphill. And there's a guy that's about to cross right in front of me in the parking lot. And he sees me. I see him. Either one of us could stop to let the other one pass. He let me pass because I was in the middle of dealing with something difficult. I was dragging a bunch of heavy stuff up a hill, and breaking my momentum would have made it much harder for me. So we silently engaged, made eye contact, and resolved the situation by determining who should defer to who to maximize the potential goodness in this situation. And he decided, oh, this person is pulling a big cart. I'm going to stop and let him pass because I don't have that momentum that I'm dealing with, and he can more easily accomplish his task. It's going to inconvenience me ever so slightly because I have to break my pace, but that's okay. That guy didn't need to do that. He could have been a dick. He could have just walked right past. He could have bumped into me. He could have yelled at me for not slowing down, but he didn't, because he looked at the situation, saw that there was a person in a certain state and he was in a different state, and realized how he wants to progress here. That's like literally all that I'm asking for from people. Identify that different people have different needs at different times. And as a society, we can come together to meet those needs as needed. That's it. Let me see what's in chat. Crimson says, it's interesting that we're a Christian nation when our founding fathers never wanted this nation to have a primary religion. Hence the First Amendment, including freedom of religion, along with freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Yeah, I mean, no, there's no denying that we're a Christian nation, right? Like we are not officially a Christian nation. The powers that be do everything they can to make that a very blurry truth. Nebula Vendetta says, Americans also take things really personally. I'm an American, but I was born and raised in Germany. I think politics will get easier and more productive in America when every opinion and thought doesn't make it break a person's worth. Yes, so that is part of what I'm talking about with like, have your values, not policies. If you build your political outlook around like a certain policy, and then someone says that policy is dumb, they've now like essentially insulted you. If someone insults my values, like that's gonna one, tell me that I don't like this person, but that doesn't going based on values means that I am not at risk of someone saying that they don't like my politics and me taking that personally, because I am not my politics. I am my values and morals. And I don't care if you don't like my politics. But people, yeah, they really need to stop taking everything so personally and so directly. And it's not a matter of just like, oh, people gotta have a thick skin, blah, 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 blah. Enjoy your lunch, Quentin. It's not a matter of like, have thick skin or like, oh, buck up or whatever. It's a matter of, it's a matter of understanding what is and isn't meant to be a slight against you. And for example, a lot of people, especially now with like algorithmic feeds and such, they will get a video or whatever, and it's the classic bean soup situation. You see a video of, let's say, workout tips, and this person will be like, I'm disabled in this way and can't do these workouts. This is ableist. It's like, no, it's not ableist. It's just not for you. And that's okay. Things can be not for you, and that's fine. But a lot of people we've spent so long having these curated feeds just delivering stuff to us that when it does not land, it feels like a slight against us. Like it feels like this is a thing meant for us to insult us or to hurt us. Somehow this conversation is helping me be through the terrible high I'm on just because I have to focus. Why do you have a terrible high? What are you doing? Informal Goblin says, I'm not super interested in proving up the idea of 20-something slave-owning alcoholics who've been dead for hundreds of years. Yeah, I don't understand the deification of the founding fathers. Like they made a couple of good choices in the Constitution. They also made a lot of very bad choices, like owning people. And I don't know. I feel like it's not, they didn't have 100% hit rate. They really didn't. And they also didn't want the Constitution to be unchangeable. Like, they specifically wanted it to be a living document. Got a medical cannabis prescription, but quickly realized this is not the strain for me. Gotcha. God, I found out the hard way that my medical cannabis license expired because I went into the weed place and they were like, I can't sell you the stuff that you want. You have to get like the shitty consumer grade stuff, not the medical grade stuff, which I didn't even know was a distinction. Here come tavern vibes. But yeah, I got there, I like got my order all put together, and I've been using this like very specific dosage edible, and they're like, yeah, you can't buy that because your license expired. So I finally went around and got another appointment, like a meeting to get my green card re-upped. I was on the phone for 3 minutes and 4 seconds to get my card renewed. I called the doctor. Like I found like a service that does like a phone call, and I called the doctor, and he's like, "So, it's been going well? It's been working?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Any side effects?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, you're set." I think the medical grade stuff is better, not stronger. It's stronger. Like at my place at least, the higher dosage stuff is only available to medical patients. If you don't have a medical card, there's a dosage limitation, at least for like edibles. So like instead of getting like the higher dose edibles, I had to get like the standard like 10 milligrams or something. Oh, that easy? Yeah, like if you are in a state that has only medical legalization, you can get like if you've got basically any ailment, you can get a card, no problem. It's not a thing. It's stupid. It's a joke. It shouldn't be this way. It should just be legal nationwide. You check out the nonsense Minnesota has gone through for legalizing the pots. It's just like constantly bending rules in different directions. Why is living document such a scary phrase for conservatives? Because like it's counter to what they believe in, right? Again, these are people who very strongly believe in authority, very strongly believe in that you don't question authority, that you fall in line, that you don't walk outside the beaten path. They are trying to maintain a very specific lifestyle. And to say that like the foundation of that can be changed is unacceptable to them. Imagine getting medicine without capitalism getting in the way. That's the thing. Cannabis is fucking medicine. Obviously, you can get real high and it's fun and kooky and whatnot. But I'd never used cannabis growing up. I straight up was like, I had a huge thing against it. I was like really traumatized by some stuff when I was younger, and I was like really against weed for a long time. Way too long. And I finally tried it like after turning 30, I think. And my first reaction was, this is medicine. Well, my first reaction was like, that's it. And then my second reaction was, this is medicine. Because immediately, the issues that I was dealing with and had spent years trying to work on, and years and myriad different medications trying to fix, suddenly alleviated. I remember having a headache and a stomachache, and I took a single puff from a vape, and gone. Just gone. It just fixed a headache and a stomachache instantaneously. It's truly whack how effective it is. And it makes it very clear why the pharmaceutical companies don't want it to be legal. Why there's so much money pushing back on legalizing weed. Because it genuinely can solve a lot of problems. Like, it can, if you've got cramps, headache, stomachache, anxiety, chronic pain, all sorts of shit. A low amount, a low dosage can still dramatically improve those conditions without like fully impairing you. Hey. And for some people, thank you, I can hydrate. For some people, you can also just use like I started this way. It was like a sublingual. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. It's the stuff that you put under your tongue, but it's like a little dropper. It's like a tincture. And you've just got a dropper, and you put like a few drops of a cannabis-infused oil under your tongue, and it absorbs through your like tongue muscle or whatever. And that was enough to just soothe me and get me to sleep without having like psychoactive effects for a while. Like, of course, I'm using more now. And like, of course, it's a nice experience. It's a gentle, it's like, in addition to solving my problems, it also gives like euphoria and makes things fun. But I pretty much just use it to fall asleep, and that's it. And it has improved my life in ways I can't even describe. Quentin says, I love weed. It's the only way I can fully unmask. I didn't realize I was autistic in childhood, or I didn't realize I was autistic because I was so well trained from childhood to mask. What broke the mask was just getting high. Interesting. What broke the mask for me was realizing I was masking. I mean, I still mask all the time, but I didn't realize I was masking. I always described it as like, whenever somebody was like, just be yourself, that confused the fuck out of me. Because I was like, I don't know how to do that. Because when I'm by myself, I am a completely different person than when I'm with people. And that's how I would describe it. I didn't realize I was just describing masking. But I was masking so much that I didn't know how to describe myself. And that's when it kind of dawned on me. Wow. I haven't gotten to like any of my topics. I meant to talk about stuff. Color spin. Oh, it's a pretty one. Let me pull this up. So we're gonna have new merch, I believe, tomorrow. There should be two new merches available. But if you head to merchfrom.dev, we've already got the new Skulls Keep Happening patch that we put up last stream. So we've got this here patch now, which is good. Came out much better than I was expecting it to, so I'm very thrilled with that. But tomorrow we'll be having the jean jacket that I'm wearing should be available, and also a tank top will be available. So that's exciting. That's great. That's very good. We love this. Store, yes. Is that browser in Obsidian? Yeah. I use the web browser in Obsidian on my stream at this point, just because it's so much easier to just tab over to Obsidian and back if I need to like write something or pull up a website, or I can do like split screen like that. So I can have a like, you know, website over here, do a website over here. Yeah. So that's nice. Is the extension just called web browser? It's a built-in plugin now. It's called Web Viewer. It's built into Obsidian now. You don't need to install anything. If you have the latest updated version of Obsidian, then yeah, it's just a built-in plugin that is a whole ass web browser. It even has like a built-in ad blocker, which is cool. I wish it could support installing extensions. I'm sure it will. They're going to keep working on it. But yeah, like I've been using Obsidian's web browser like almost as much as I use my normal web browser right now. Speaking of Obsidian, y'all should check out, this is gonna be funny pulling this up in Obsidian, screen.garden. There may be some folks for which this is quite helpful. Screen Garden is a service that's recently been released. It's by a developer that I know who does really good work. This is Google Docs for Obsidian. So this adds Google Docs style multiplayer live editing directly into Obsidian with support for online editing for people who don't have Obsidian. So you can share files either between your own stuff. You can use this in place of sync. And you can share files between stuff, or you can share files to other people, bring them into your team, have like the multiplayer editing, or get a web view of the document that you're editing and share a URL to somebody, and they can just read and edit the document with you. And it is cheaper than sync. So it is $4 a month for up to 3 people. You get, I think it's like 10 gigs of storage edit and publish your notes on the web. Oh, and publish your notes on the web. Collaborate without conflicts. It's also like instant sync. So Obsidian's sync system is pretty slow. It's effective, but slow because it syncs the entire file whenever there's a change. This syncs by doing diffs, so it only syncs the changes to the files, which means that it's virtually instantaneous. So no more like sitting around waiting for a sync to complete. So yeah, $4 for 3 people, and then it's just $2 a person beyond that. But for your just solo, it's very affordable. There might be a free version for individuals. Yeah. Let's see. Is there a different pricing for individuals? What's this called again? Screen Garden. It's at screen.garden. I will paste it again. Here, let's pin that. Efficient sync, live collaboration. Yeah, no merge conflicts. It'll sync. Just today, they announced non-markdown file syncing. So you can sync files that are, well, any file type, basically. Let me bump this up. Edit on the web. Yeah, you can access your notes from anywhere, create and edit new notes directly from the browser. Public and private sharing, so you can share read-only versions of notes with a link, require passwords to securely share with anyone. Live presence, offline first, it works on mobile, private collections. Yeah, they're doing a lot of cool shit. So, yep. I would get it and demo it, but I already have it, and I have not prepared it to share publicly. So, legit gonna pitch this at work. Yeah, well, it's specifically built for like essentially helping to make Obsidian be more viable of a Notion competitor for work. Let's see if I can pull this back up. Screen Garden for Teams. Okay, this is the same page. FAQ. Whatever. But yeah, so it works for Obsidian and web right now, and they want to eventually add it to other like knowledge management apps and shit. So yeah, definitely check that out. It's quite good. The next thing that I want to talk about is that I need you all to tell me to not do this. I need you to convince me not to do something. I've talked before, speaking of products, about the books products, books, which is the e-ink tablet that I use. So this is like an e-ink tablet that I write on with a pen. Woo! And I love it very much. And I've been considering, given that there's the tariffs and things are about to get real expensive, and I said at the outset, like, do I want to get something, or like, if you want to get something, get it now. I'm considering the Books Palma, which is a Android-powered e-ink phone-ish device. It doesn't have a SIM card, so it's not a phone, but it does have Wi-Fi, and if you use any other like Wi-Fi based calling app, you can use it like a literal phone. But it's an e-ink display phone thing that is like mostly an e-reader. Like, it's not a notebook like the other thing that I have, but like it has like the super fast refresh and whatnot. Is quite sick. Well, hold up. Will you use it? If so, do it. I'm considering it because I don't have an like a dedicated e-reader right now, and this, while I love it, does not have a backlight. Like, this is not really meant to be like a e-reader. This is much more of a writing tablet. So kinda, maybe I might. It can also do speakers, podcast, all that stuff. Chilling, planning, recording. Oh, I guess it would work for Obsidian as well. God damn it. Maybe I will. What are the downsides to not getting it? Pretty much nothing. Like, I really don't need it. I really don't need it. The main reason I'm thinking about it is because I'm nervous about my trip to London at the end of the month and them going through my like phone and shit. And I was thinking like I could just use that as a phone while I'm out. But yeah. Referral link. Someone asked for my referral link. Hold on. Let me make sure I have that right. Yeah, if you want a books thing, you can use my referral code, and that gives me a bit of a kickback. Books makes awesome stuff. Like, they make really cool stuff, I will say. Wait, someone has a note C. Neurospicy says, I use my Books Air 4C thing for work daily and has saved a bunch of effort. My bosses might actually get some for the whole team. That's rad. So you have this. How do you like it? Because I've also been eyeing this because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Like, it's so pretty. And it's a color e-ink screen. And that's cool. And I like comics. So that'd be cool for reading comics. Whoosh. Yeah, pretty rad. But yeah, if you ever wanted like an e-ink, like a very capable e-ink powered device, this is the people to go for. So this is the device that I use for like basically all of my note taking right now. It's like the ultimate journal, but it also is just running Android, and you can install any Android app you want. So like I can install Obsidian on this and get Obsidian with an e-ink screen and then attach a Bluetooth keyboard, and it's a fucking dream. It's amazing. And it's also just gorgeous. But yeah, it also has a bookstore built in, and you can like write on the books, which is nice. But you can also install Android apps. So if you've got like Kindle books, or in my case, I've got Kobo books, I can do that. You can connect a keyboard. Yeah, you can connect a keyboard and mouse, I believe. But I've only done a keyboard so far. I've also looked at the the Tab Ultra C. Yeah, this is their like professional grade one. This is like their pro thing. This is essentially a laptop replacement, but it's still an e-ink screen. But like, look at, you see how like that's the refresh rate. This is e-ink scrolling. That's e-ink scrolling. It can do like 60 FPS scrolling. And yeah, it's got the whole like magic keyboard adapter thingy, all the swipe stuff. Yeah, so it's a whole colored e-ink like hybrid tablet laptop thing that runs Android. And I believe it's not outrageously priced. Order now. Okay, I mean, if you consider that this is essentially a primary machine, like this is a primary laptop essentially. It's $630. The where's the? But that's like their most premium thing. Look at their Note Air 3C, which is a colored one. Yeah, this is another colored Note tablet. $400. And then the Palma 2 is actually pretty affordable. Yeah, $300. Has that gone up already? That might have gone up already. I'm pretty sure it was lower this morning. They might have already increased the I thought this was $270. I'm like 90% sure that they've already upped the price on this now. I should go back. Let's pull up Wayback Machine. See if we can. They increased prices like a week ago. I was looking at this like last night. I swear it was $270. I remember thinking like, oh yeah, that's a lot less than I thought it was. I'm hurt. Yeah, what the fuck? Right here, 280. I click order now. Am I getting like a upsell because I'm terrible? Am I getting the you're terrible tax? Oh dear. Oh, that's a nice little case thing. Oh well. Point is neat. I might get one. We'll see. Ugh. There was a memo on the bottom of their website. Okay, that tracks. That's fair. Making my way through my list of topics that I wanted to talk about. I've got TikTok deadline again. I don't know what I'm doing this time, y'all. TikTok is supposed to go away. It might get bought by Amazon. It might get bought by Oracle. Did my bosses use your promo code? I haven't checked. I haven't actually checked. But I can check. TikTok bidders pile up as deadline looms with Amazon and OnlyFans founder in the mix. Group led by OnlyFans founder also submitted a bid. Amazon sent in a last-minute bid. Apparently, no one's taking the Amazon. I've seen that no one cares about the Amazon bid, but we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Here's my hot take. I'm kind of over TikTok at this point. They kind of lost it for me. It's just not been good. As a creator, as a consumer, I have not been enjoying TikTok recently. And I'm really happy that I was able to pivot to YouTube, and I've been seeing actual success to some degree on YouTube after years of trying and failing to actually get like traction. So yeah, like I've been posting a little bit to TikTok. I've been posting a lot less, but my stuff almost entirely flops. The comment quality has gone down the absolute drain. I'm like losing followers now for the first time like ever. I think people have just been not caring as much and just doing other shit. And I've kind of already been operating under the like we're on borrowed time mentality. So like, yeah, TikTok is going to be going away at the end of the week. I don't know how much I care anymore. I'm mad. It shouldn't have ever done this. It would have been nice if we could just keep going as we were going, not ruining everyone's like incomes. And I don't think it's the right thing to do to get rid of TikTok still. I still think it's a fucking awful policy decision. I also don't think it's going away still. But people aren't going to deal with this much longer. People aren't going to deal with the will it, won't it stuff much longer. Thoughts on Skylight? Heard about it today. I literally have only heard about it today. I don't know. Like, if it's anything like Flashes, Skylight. It's like a Blue Sky TikTok alternative, right? Startup taking on TikTok is more of an open alternative. I mean, like, launching its mobile app on Tuesday after 10 weeks of development. That doesn't fill me with love. I think that also it's like, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that it's the same as Flashes, where it's like you just kind of log in with your Blue Sky account and it's just like a reskin of the Blue Sky feed, where like I got the Flashes app, which is supposed to be like the Instagram Blue Sky alternative or whatever, or was also supposed to be this. And it's like you log in with your Blue Sky account and it's just like if you have uploaded videos, they render on your page as if they're your videos, but otherwise it's just your Blue Sky feed. And that's not what people want. And that's why I like the Fediverse. Like in Fediverse apps like Mastodon, PeerTube, Loops, which is the Fediverse version of TikTok. These are all their own systems, but can be cross-viewed with other systems and cross-interact with other systems. So in the Fediverse, I could have a PeerTube account that you follow that I upload a video to, PeerTube being an open YouTube alternative. I could have a PeerTube account, I could upload a video, and you could follow my PeerTube account from Mastodon to get my uploaded video in your Mastodon feed. This is the skylight or flashes or whatever is I have my Blue Sky account, and these different apps render my account differently based on who's looking at it, which is not particularly intuitive, I think. Neither of them are intuitive, but I don't know. I, at this point, am really trying to hit the brakes on joining any new platforms. I think people are tired, and like, I get it. I want people to embrace the Fediverse. I want people to embrace more open protocol networks, but I also understand that people are exhausted. People are just so exhausted of trying to rebuild networks and try to understand new apps and shit. So I don't know. The people who are racing to try to replace TikTok with like a one-to-one replacement, I think are short-sighted. I think it's a very similar vibe to we're going to make the new Facebook. We're going to make Facebook, but better. Like, people don't want a new TikTok. They just want TikTok to have not gone away. So I think the next big thing is not going to be a TikTok clone, because we have those already and people are like mid on them. Like the thing that will happen, the reason that TikTok is stuck around for so long is because of the vibe. Like, people really liked the app, but people really liked the vibe. That's why they stayed. So it's not about the fact that it's short form video. It's about the fact that it's short form video of the vibe that people wanted. Which is why when people go to Reels, they're like, what the fuck is this? What are these comment sections? What are these things? And yeah, as Informal Goblin just said, culture over technology. People are more interested in what it's like to be a part of something than they are the actual thing. So that's why I don't think that the next TikTok is going to be a TikTok clone. It's about who captures the vibes. That's what happened with Vine. It's what happened with TikTok. It's what's going to happen again. But trying to make a TikTok clone that's like, it's like TikTok, but blah. That's not going to draw people, because people don't want to rebuild their network. They want to do it organically. They don't want to abandon the thing that they already have for a different version of the same thing that doesn't have all the same functionality and definitely doesn't have the content they want to see. So it's just not going to happen. Brackus Rex says, I don't like the idea of having the same feed on different apps. I'm used to having different content on different apps, so I can forever switch between all of them and never get bored and never have a single second to produce a thought. Yeah, if we optimize and make it too easy to consume content, then people might have to actually live their life. It'd be fucked. When the vibes change, you lose people. You very much do. Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it, says Pedro. So is all of TikTok gone, or just America's ability to use TikTok? Just America's ability to use TikTok. But we'll see. I still don't think it's going away. I don't think that the Trump admin gives a shit. They'll probably like claim that they came up with some new negotiation, and then things will just go on as normal. But they're gonna be like, but we exist to let them, or we agreed to let them keep operating in exchange for giving us some, immaterial thing. Deepwater says, just hopped on Pros, still figuring out. Are you talking about like pros.astral.camp? Yeah, so for those who didn't know, if you are a member of my community, one of the many things available to you is Pros, which is a very simple blogging platform that anybody who is in my community can set up a blog and publish. It is based on Write Freely, or rather it is a Write Freely instance, not .com. Write Freely org, I think is, yeah. Write Freely is a open source platform for building a writing space on the web. So yeah, it's a very simple blogging platform that has federated support. So it can actually, you can follow Write Freely blogs from Mastodon and get them in your feed. which is neat. But yeah, if you want to, you can register for an account at pros.astral.camp. There's an invite link which you can find in the Discord itself. But yeah, you can publish stuff, and this is just like the feed of things that have been published. Yep. Yeah, we've got a wiki, we've got the blogging platform, we've got the lodge, which is a whole like a whole dedicated custom app with like the game built into it. It is pros.astral.camp. We've got a cloud host in there. You can get a gig of free cloud hosting. There's the URL shortener, which is one of my personal favorites. Everybody in my community can use the trail.as URL shortener. All sorts of stuff, and it's all just built in to the campgrounds, to the community for free. Because why not? It's fun. I like making things. Last thing I want to talk about before I take a quick break, and then we're probably gonna play a little bit of video games for a little bit. I've got one more thing I want to talk about, which is, I'm gonna pull it up first because I don't know the website. Found it. All right. Here's you ready? Okay. Here's the Crit Awards. The Crit Awards are happening. So these are an annual award show that is by tabletop creators for tabletop creators. It is the Creator Recognition in TTRPG Awards, and so it's just an award show for people who do tabletop content creator stuff. I am not going for any awards this time around. I am not going to ask for you to vote for me, so don't bother. Don't try to sneak any votes for me in. I'm not interested in any of the awards this year because I'm focused on projects that are not going to be ready in time. But I am sponsoring the Crit Awards this year. Your boy truly is going to be one of the top sponsors of the Crit Awards for 2025, sponsored by Proscenium. So I've reached out to the people who run the Crit Awards, and I'm going to be sponsoring them as Proscenium. So you'll be seeing a lot of Proscenium advertising around the Crit Awards this year. And the reason is because things are going quite well with Proscenium development recently, and I am thrilled to continue working on it, and I can't wait to start revealing more, hopefully soon. But yeah.
Hey, yo.
Proscenium is going to be sponsoring the Crit Awards this year. You're going to be seeing a whole lot about that. That's all I really have to share about that so far. But I'm very excited about it. But with that, I do need to go take a quick break and get something to snack on. And when I get back, we'll probably play some video games. Let's see. I don't know what video game I'm going to play yet, but we'll figure it out. In the meantime, don't touch that dial. I'll be sad. I'll be back. BRB. I'm back. Taliesin says, anybody here use Pros? For some reason I can't get it to work with my account. You have to sign up for Pros. So there's if you go to the, if you go to the orientation room channel in Discord, there's a link that says sign up for Pros under the Pros section. And that is the invite link. So you have to make an account on Pros. Yeah, it's not the most straightforward thing. I apologize. Okay, let's see. What kind of video game? What kind of video game am I playing? Are we feeling funny card game? Breaking out of hell game? Hot purple neighbors game? Or it's kind of all I'm vibing with right now. What are we thinking? Let's see. Let me do a poll. Poll. Question. Vibe of game. Let's see. Do we want funny cards, sexy hell, sexy neighbors? Might as well change it to sexy cards. Sexy cards, sexy hell, sexy neighbors. What do we want? Start poll. Prose is for bloggers? Yeah, Prose, as in like writing prose. Purple neighbors? Yeah, the Palea. The neighbors are purple and hot. Hot purple neighbors is Palea. Got it? Yeah, of course. They're the hottest and the purplest. Damn, it's a close call right now. Oh, it's a very close call right now. Yo. Thought it was Palea. Heck yeah. I'm pretty sure hot purple neighbors is Balatro. Let's see. Couple more seconds and sexy hell won. All right. Well, we're gonna play some sexy hell times. Let me get my controller. Actually, I gotta go grab a cord for it real quick. So one moment. Okay. Get some good music going from the game, that is, and get some good slaying of enemies going. You're gonna hear a ding. This was me, not you. All right. Okay. Hey, let me change my stream info before I start all this, actually. 45% tariffs on hell itself. Hades is seething. I always spell tariff wrong. Is it 2 R, 2 Fs? 1 R. Okay, I'm right. I was right the first time. Topic is Hades. Done. Okay. Launch. Launched. Game? Oh, okay. Hey, okay. We did it. Oh, we're back. We're back at the above ground place.
Hey, yo.
I keep ending my streams after beating Hades, but not talking to my mom.
Is that you, Zacharias?
Hope you don't mind. I'm just gonna fucking button mash through this.
No.
But then,
He does.
so
Well, anyway, welcome in to anybody who's just joining us. This is Hades. Hades is it's actually several years old now, and I think Hades 2 is nearing completion. It's in open beta, question? Haven't played it yet. It's a game where you play as the son of Hades, and you are constantly trying to break out of hell to go see your mom, because Hades is a dick, and your mom is not a dick. So, but the problem is, you die, and when you die, you go back to your house, which is hell. So the joke is you're trying to burst out of hell, but if you die, you just go back home and try again, and that's the game.
How fare your labors, lad?
Well, there's a lot more to it than that, but it's very good. The problem is you die. Indeed.
He... I don't know.
Please send him my regards.
And you also help foster Achilles' gay marriage, and it's great.
Rivalry against the greatest king of Athens lately, boy.
Admitted, father.
Speak
Y'all have a lot to say, and I'm just trying to do a run, actually.
What are you doing here?
Long story.
It doesn't help that I'm also playing this game just, like, normally on my own right now, so I'm like, these are all just duplicated conversations for me.
Don't I want
You're not making Nix.
Hi, Nix.
What?
the Olympian?
Basically, everyone's telling me that I need to keep going and keep trying hard, and if I keep doing that, then I'll find success someday, and they're all rooting for me. It's a nice hell. It's hell, but the good kind. Also, wow, that's a lot of stuff I just got. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna go upgrade some weapons. And upgrade some mirror? Oh, I need 30 keys? Wait, can I afford that? Can I afford the 30 keys? Wait a minute. We got this.
What's new?
Oh, I can.
Looking for more keys for me.
Hell yeah. All right, let's open up that final chunk of mirror. My favorite. Love opening up mirror chunks.
Let's see the last of them.
Okay. God's Pride. Boons can be epic, or this one's boons can be legendary or duo. I'm doing the legendary duo one in my other save, so I'm gonna do this actually. Yeah.
Nix's power.
Harder boy harder? Wait a minute.
Getting a load of them prizes over there.
Wait a minute.
What's all this? My shield.
Okay, let's upgrade this. Attack and dash strike damage increase. Yeah, sure.
Our bond grows stronger.
Got a lot of blood to spend, so go ahead and do that. And let's bring... You know what? I'm going to be honest. I was playing this game recently, and I don't even have it unlocked. I started fucking with more Zeus stuff. It turns out if you go long on Zeus upgrades, it's actually pretty good. So, with that said, let's do Aphrodite upgrades. Like I said. Oh, okay.
I'm through with father's dirty work.
Upon my name, you lack the cheerfulness of Hypnos and the competence of Thanatos, but have more willfulness than both.
Hello there, Doc Pop-Tart. I hope your break is eternal, and you never have to go back to work, but can still get a paycheck forever.
I'll show you willfulness.
That's what I want for you. Okay, everybody, be on your best behavior. Don't embarrass me in front of Aphrodite, please.
I bring you strength and comfort, and I shall be watching every step of yours most carefully.
Yes, ma'am. Ooh. Ooh. What am I using? The shield? Ooh. Okay. Okay. Hell yeah. That's a good first pickup. We'll take that.
You again.
Damn, okay. This is a hell of a first boon. I work in a car factory, so I'm waiting on shit to hit the fan. I'm gonna be real with you. I read factory, and that put my mind in a place to start parsing the rest of your sentence in the context of factory. So when you said I'm waiting for the shit to hit the fan, I know that that's a common phrase, but I wasn't ready for it. And so for a split second, I was like, oh, yeah, when the fan in the car factory, when things hit it, that's what they're talking about. And then I caught up with myself. Point being, I'm an idiot.
Seldom do mortals or immortals think of making offerings to me. The charms of gods.
Classic fan in the car factory. Take more damage than special does more damage. I'm just gonna go long on special buffs for my shield and just be Captain America. Like horny Captain America, because it's all gonna be Aphrodite stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like a horny Captain America is not a bad way to describe me. Like if you needed to explain me to someone, I feel like that is fair.
Lord Dionysus, it's been great getting to know you, so please accept this humble offering.
Need to be better about giving people drugs, contraband.
Thank you, Dionysus, mate.
Isn't that already a thing on browsers? Is what? If health is low, restore to the threshold? Hell yeah. Wait, I should have taken the hangover one. Oh well, I wanted the prophecy. I mean, at the end of the day, the actual only description for me is vulgar deckhand. Like, that is the only thing I really always go back to. And as evidenced by the fact that, like, I have plans. So, like, I'm going to England later this month, right? And I have actively made plans to get a new raincoat and possibly a few new sweaters while I'm there, because, and this is true, no one makes like raincoats and jumpers, I guess, quite like England, right? Because it's like their national pastime is trying to not get wet, and I need that because I'm very wet all the time, and my anti-wet garment is not functional anymore. So yeah, I am intentionally going to London, of which one of my express plans is to further dress myself like a deckhand. Also, I didn't realize I got a fish. Bye, Doc. And bye-bye, Taliesin. But yeah, they make good sweaters there. I'm really digging this shield.
The boon I got from Chaos has a new effect.
Pulverizing blow, attack hits twice. Special deals 50 damage to foes around you when you catch it. Okay. Like I said, going long on special. Full Captain America. Just absolutely annihilating this thing. Hell yeah.
There must be some unconquerable force or foe awaiting you just at the border of your realm and ours.
The people who say there's no bad weather, just bad clothing, actually make good clothing? No way. Failing shot, or I will take failing shot. Aphrodite is good for support, though as a main focus is doable, just a bit harder. Spent a lot of time on this game. I really like doing just like pure Aphrodite runs. They're pretty funny. Because there's like, her call is hilarious to me. The fact that her call is like, it just like inflicts weak, but if you power it up all the way, you just obliterate something if you use it. Because it just like does a shitload of damage. I really like that. Just like walk up to a boss, press call, and the boss is like half dead already. Give me stuff.
In the pool this time.
Sure. Where'd they go? Oh, they died. Okay. I was like, where did the enemies go? They're all dead, it turns out. Turns out I did good. It's a rare one. Sylvie says, I want to visit Scotland and Ireland. I do too. I'm unfortunately not going to be Per my current plans, I'm not going to be at either of those places, but I'm hoping to do a trip specifically to Scotland and Ireland in the future. Because I don't talk about this much actually, but I really like Scotch. Like I'm a big Scotch boy. And going to a Scotch distillery would be very fun for me. Aphrodite.
What choice was there, really?
Resist damage, attack deals more in a... Okay, sure. Time adapts as my main drink is spiced rum. When you, like... I know you mean, like, boozy drink. I hope you mean your main, like, go-to booze drink is, and not, like, the drink that you mostly drink in your life is spiced rum. In which case, you know, I'm not one to judge, but I hope you're doing okay. I hope everything's all right in your life. Need to visit Isla, lots of good distilleries. Yeah, absolutely. That's like the place that I want to go. I mean, what regular drink is water? Mine too, and I'm tired of people acting like water is bad. Water is great.
I'll take this one.
Water is so good.
Just what I need. Hi.
Speaking of water. Oh, hi Tiffany. How you doing? Some murder.
Hello.
Just a little bit of murder. Hello, Books Bob Crockett. Oh my. I'm actively fighting a boss. That's the best I could read your name. I'm sorry. Man, I'm pulverizing her? Just kind of like absolutely annihilating her? Just like, holy shit. God damn.
She's a bit much.
I was like not really paying attention. Water doesn't taste enough / taste too much. Gotta carbonate or nearly freeze it. I like ice water in the right situations, if I'm being honest. I do love a good cold glass of iced water. But only if I'm overheated or very thirsty, which I know that you're not supposed to drink cold water when you're thirsty. Apparently it's not as thirst quenching or something. I don't give a shit. Fuck me up. I'm a slut for water if I'm in the middle of the night and I can get a nice cold glass of water. Oh, I'm trying to lubricate my digestive tract, you know?
Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me.
I also just feel like trash if I don't drink enough water in a day. And I don't know if that's because I've just been drinking water for so long that if I don't drink a ton of water, I hate how I feel, but yeah. And the dehydration thing, by the way, is not actually that big of a deal. As far as oh, that's a waste of a trope. As far as I understand, it's actually really difficult to get truly dehydrated. Like, not drinking water doesn't mean that you're dehydrated. Alright, come here, fishy. Come here, fishy.
Come, fishies.
Come, fishies.
That's a fight.
Hey! I used to feel like trash a lot until I started hydrating better. I think it's technically just like there's a difference between being like low on electrolytes and shit and like thirsty versus dehydrated. I'm not sure if it's just like a medical difference or what, but I would definitely say not drinking anything is really, really bad. But if you like go a few days of just drinking like non-water drinks, you're not going to be dehydrated.
Lady Aphrodite.
Hydrate or die. Fine. Low tolerance. Hangover effects stack more against weak foes. That's awesome.
Two
Hey,
blessings are better than
time
one.
for... But I just did the drink, Sylvie. Hydrate or die straight. Oh, damn. Couldn't be me. Well. Who can be sure? Ooh, hi Poseidon.
Thank you, mate.
Well, nephew, I know that salty Charon can be difficult, but I'm certain that whatever price you pay...
That's salty Charon. Coco Village. Hydraulic might. I do like that. I'll take it. It's got what plants crave. Electrolytes.
Hello, Mega Gorgon.
I've been crushed. And I disagree with that. He died up in the air. That's so funny. Take less damage when you're low. I'm gonna take this just for the... Yeah, I'm gonna take this just for the prophecy.
Feeling good. Let's get out of here.
Sips water begrudgingly. Dev is right, though. I'm always right. When have I ever been wrong about anything? Don't answer that. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff. Ooh, who did the most recent color spin? That's nice.
You want to pull some?
Do that.
Careful, it's hot.
Heartbreak, flourish, hydraulic might, positive outlook, and failing shot. Okay.
See you again.
Bye, hun.
Ooh.
You called?
Let's get this done.
It was too pink.
You wretches never seem to learn, do you?
They really don't.
I'm not gonna lose this time. I can't believe I lost to him last time. Embarrassing. Where's anyone? Hello? Bad guys? Has anyone seen a bad guys? Oh, I finished watching Severance season 2. I'm not gonna talk about it because it's kind of hard to talk about without spoilers. But good show, man. Good show. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Definitely weird. Definitely a suspenseful / thriller show. The season 2 finale. I haven't laughed so hard. There's a moment in the season 2 finale. 2 moments in the season 2 finale that sent me belly laughing. And to be abstract and to not spoil anything, I will say one involves unexpected music, and another involves a messy elevator. I haven't laughed so goddamn hard. There's something about, like, so again, Severance is a show that's like a psychological thriller, but it's mostly like by and directed by Ben Stiller, who's a comedian. And comedians making psychological horror is my favorite because, one, psychological horror is primarily just comedy without a punchline, and two, they can still put comedy in there. So it's like the things that I'm talking about that I was laughing at were not jokes, but the situation was so absurd that the only reasonable reaction is to laugh, and it was great. But yeah, show's very good. Show's one of the better like mysterious shit going on in a sort of like alt fiction modern society shows that I've seen in a while. Like, I've seen people comparing it to Lost, which I would do that in terms of like twists and interesting characters and plot lines that are like, I have no idea where this is going, and then like you get surprised, and lots of like fan theories of like what does this mean? There was this symbol, lots of details. Like they're really thorough with the details of all the set dressing and the props that they use and everything. Really just good production overall. And also Adam Scott's great. Like the cast is wonderful. Adam Scott's great. Christopher Walken, I was not expecting to be a part of this show. I'm thrilled that he is. And the supporting cast are all just like really great. It also has a character that I've said before, I said last time, like, I don't understand. There's a character that is a crime that they haven't been turned into more of a meme. Like, they are perfect meme fodder, and the internet has not just gone bazonkers with memeing the hell out of them. But he's just like the best meme character I've ever seen. Like, he's like Nigel Thornberry or Walter White level meme material. And there's just like, I have not casually seen memes about him, and it's a fucking shame. His character name is Mr. Milchick, and I really don't want to spoil him because like his character is so good. But here's all you need to see of look at this guy. Look at this man. He's got some melons. He's got a piece of paper. He's got a book. Let's see if I can get... I just want to get pictures that are not going to be spoilery, because like I don't want to accidentally just show you shit. But there's a lot of good pictures of him just in absurd situations. Here we go. Here's a good one. Like, he's just in a big hat. He's just in a big hat because reasons. Why is he in a big hat? Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Here's him at a desk. It's just everything that he does is so meme worthy. Like literally fucking everything. I want to find there's a picture of him. There's a scene towards the end of season 2 where he's at his desk and is just like sitting there being like just contemplating, basically just like thinking, but he's just like quietly sitting at his desk staring straight ahead, and he's at this giant desk. There's nothing on his desk. It's just him, a pretty blank background, and it's just like that picture. I can see the text overlaid on it. Anyway, I'll stop talking about this one random character from Severance, but it's a good show and you should watch it. I'm gonna stick with Aphrodite. Ooh, upgraded rarity. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard? Indeed. Mr. Milkshake. What do we got? Give me a hammer. Fuck yeah. Mr. Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Mr. Milkshake brings everything. So one of the reasons that he's such a fun character is because he's essentially like a gopher. Like his role in the show, he's an antagonist, but his role is like essentially just do everything. Like the premise of the show again is some people have gone under a surgery called severance that splits them into like multiple people. It splits their consciousness into multiple distinct chunks. One for when they're at work and one for when they're not, and they don't have any overlap. So the people, the version of them that are at work are like new people, basically. So Milchick, his role is essentially on the floor of the building where these like severed employees work. He's just like the everything guy. Like everything is his job, to like everything that has to do with like from catering to punishment, from teaching to medical attention. Like he just does all of it, and it's just like not questioned. He's just doing everything all the time. But he's just like this ominous dude the whole time, and also speaks with like really big words constantly, and it's just so funny whenever he's in a silly situation. I'll do that.
He just grows stronger.
New show to watch? Yeah, it is quite good. Also, hi. Hello, Sneezy McGlassface. What's up? Highly recommend. I will say it's a there's a lot of it's a psychological thriller. I've seen exactly one jump scare so far, and it was a very minor jump scare. I don't like jump scares. It's not a jump scary show, but there was one. It's much more of a contemplative suspense kind of show. But there's no jump scare that's like jump scare. It's just the kind of thing where it's like a character appears out of nowhere that you weren't expecting them to be there, but not like a full screen taken up by terrifying monster screaming at you. Like, not that. Not like a fucking Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. Which, I don't know if it's dangerous to rip on Five Nights at Freddy's or not in the year of our Lord 2020, whatever year it is. But I've never been interested in that game because it seems like it's just a jump scare factory. All of them? Like, that's not interesting horror to me. It's, like, very, very lazy. But I know it is a beloved franchise, so I won't sit here and poo-poo it too much. I feel like these guys are not dying as fast as I was hoping they would.
Goddess Athena.
Death Defiance makes you impervious for longer. No, I'm gonna do this. It's too good. I'll take more lovin's. The lore is fun, but it needs to be done. But the work that needs to be done to find it in the game isn't worth it.
You're nothing like Theseus.
King Theseus.
That's nice of him.
No, we're not.
I don't know. I'm not a huge horror game guy, so like I'm not a good judge. Don't use my opinions on horror games. Like my favorite horror game is Resident Evil 4, and I consider that to be a comedy. So, because like it is a fucking funny game, not because it's trying to be, but because it's just campy and the dumbest shit happens in that game. And just like inexplicably stupid shit happens. Original RE4 or the remake? I mean both. I've mostly played the original. The remake was really good though. But like the fact that like the scene, if anybody here is familiar with Resident Evil 4, you know, like through and through as I am, the scene in which Ashley is, you're like in the castle and Ashley runs down a hallway and like leans up against a wall, and this wall just happens to have a device in it that knows that she leaned up against the wall and shot 3 metal bands out around her to clasp her to the wall, and then the wall spins around so that she gets abducted. It was a random fucking wall at the end of a random hallway that she happened to run down. And it just happened to have the perfect trap to grab her and take her away from you. And it's just like, the people writing this game ran out of ideas on how to have the escort character be separated from you. They're just like, I don't know, she runs to a wall and it kidnaps her? Your cast gains any bonuses from striking from behind. Do I really want to hit it from behind, or do I want to get something else? I'll take that. I'm not doing much with cast to begin with. Resident Evil 4, Ashley is in trouble again. Leon! Help! I will say the remake having the outfit option that's like the MCR concert outfit, it's very, very good. You can basically play as Gerard Way rescuing a fan from a concert. It's great. Lemon Oreos? What the fuck is a lemon Oreo? I didn't even know they did that. Didn't realize that those were sanctioned. I don't want to die. I wish to live. I wish to make a live. Continue. I'm live streaming. I can't live stream if I'm dead, you know? See what I mean? Follow my logic here? Okay.
good enough to eat.
Costs. Yeah, that's fine.
Juicy.
Was thinking the same thing. Good.
Do not mess with me.
Minds think alike. I wouldn't say great. They're definitely minds, though. And sometimes they think alike. Some minds think alike. Boop.
Almost there.
They're delicious. I mean, they do sound good. Dev, what did I do? Am I being scolded? I think I'm being scolded, everybody. You do qualify as a great mind? That's...
Did Daedalus himself build all of this?
Wait, I can fish in here? Yo. I don't know if I would consider myself a pretty good mind. I don't know about great. That's much more of a that's less of a sea mare. That's less of a self-deprecating humor and more of a staying humble is important to me kind of thing. Like I consider myself an educated person. I consider myself a rational and smart person. I don't ever want to position myself as someone who is like actually infallible and then like wind up, you know, 5 years down the line smelling my own farts and being like, actually, this is the best air because it came out of my rectum and smells vaguely of queso. You can be fantastic and still have room to grow. Yeah. You're gonna make me have to be nice to myself, aren't you? And that's bullshit.
I bet Kieran's going to want all this.
Oh? Correct. He does have a... The Chiron.
Here's the fee.
Be nice to yourself, Dev. I appreciate it. It's very hard to be nice to yourself sometimes. It's very, very difficult. Does not usually work.
Theseus.
But something I'm working on. The main issue is the guilt, right? Like the internalized guilt. I have an insane amount of internalized guilt. Not just from like, not limited to the white guilt and the privilege and all that stuff. I've gotten better about acknowledging that privilege isn't something to be ashamed of, but something to be aware of. Like I've gotten better about understanding that. And that's genuinely why I'm so annoyed half the time at people who are like constantly talking about, oh, you can't, PC culture, it's okay to be white, blah, 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 blah. Like no one's saying it's not okay to be white. We're just saying be aware of what that means. But as far as like being very forgiving and good to myself, the internalized guilt is rough, I will say. Feeling like everything is my fault or saying like, you know, apologizing for everything and anything, no matter what happens. Woo! Artemis, no, don't help him. He's a goober. How are you gonna help him? Get dead. I said get dead. Stop it. Okay. Extremely relatable. I'm working on it too. My therapist has been working on being okay with being proud of myself, and that's a struggle. Yeah, it's genuinely hard sometimes to like truly want to celebrate your own accomplishments because like I just don't want to be an ass. And it's very difficult sometimes when you've spent so long trying to not be an ass to find the line between being a dick and being proud of yourself. Like what is the right amount of pride, you know?
There.
I've been told by Canadians to stop apologizing. Self-love is hard, but the path that sends you down is very much worth it. That sounds very sweet.
I'm sure the satyrs are back.
All right, well, let's finish up this run, and then I'm probably gonna go get some lunch. Kill my dad, get some lunch. That's the agenda. Hold on, let me update the agenda. I can't believe I left it like that. Now, kill my dad. Next, get some lunch. Cool. The agenda has been updated. That's good.
Where to?
No longer lying to you. Ooh. But yeah, it's also like the rejection sensitivity and ADHD and stuff probably, because like I had a lot of moments growing up where I didn't realize what was happening, and then suddenly things were bad. And obviously now I am like aware and cognizant of the fact that like I didn't do anything wrong. The situation was just fucked and people were bad. But in the moment when I was growing up, I was like, this is clearly my fault, because like everything went bad and I'm the common denominator. So it must be my fault. Usually with regards to like relationships, friendships, stuff like that. Turns out, sometimes people are just shitty. But unfortunately, trauma sticks with you. Do you keep VODs, or did I miss the stock commentary forever? I do keep VODs. I have a VODs channel on YouTube. Every time that I go live, I cross-post the VODs there right afterwards, usually just a few hours after the stream ends. So you will be able to find it there in perpetuity, as well as all of my previous VODs. The channel is at Endeavorance. If somebody wants to do, I think the command is bang VODs, ! VODs, should give you the URL. It's also linked in my info section below. God, I hate these guys. So much fucking health. Dear Lord.
Gods grant me strength.
Hangover stuff. Attack and special are stronger. God gauge.
Zesty.
Zesty. But yeah, the stock commentary was more towards the beginning of the stream. So, hello, Nyx is near. That's relevant. That's relevant to this game. Although technically not accurate right now, because Nyx is kind of far currently, all the way back down in the House of Hades. Oh hey.
Forgive us, little godling, meaning our extended family here upon Olympus. Some of us are terribly stuck up and must be making matters much more complicated than they have to be.
Uh-oh.
I wonder, dearest Aphrodite, whether you'd be willing to repeat such things directly to my countenance.
Damn.
Oh, you must know full well that I would do much more than that directly to your countenance, Athena dear. Quite frankly, you could use a lot of work.
Damn. Parting shot again? God damn it. Actually, I'll take that. That's really good.
Goes down smooth.
Okay, let's go get stuff. Back at this. Do that.
Ayo, what? Wait. Look who just subscribed.
Nebula Vendetta, thank you for the sub. Have you tried out Hades 2 yet? I have not. I've been waiting for it to reach like 1.0. I really want to play it, but I've been waiting for it to hit 1.0 just because I'm weird like that. Not gonna lie, the design of the characters in this game makes me want to play it. It's really gorgeous. All of the artwork in this game is ridiculous. And the voice work. The voice acting in this game is stellar. This game is amazing. This game is a 10 out of 10.
You're never late, Father.
To think Olympus has been aiding you. You must be so grateful to them for their aid, without which none of this would have been possible.
Yeah, about that. Father, did you let Mother go because you feared Olympus would find out? And not respond well to the circumstances if they did?
Be grateful they have not found out as yet for all your meddling. You do not know them as well as you think. Ask yourself why she left Olympus and how. Or better yet, ask her.
Well, she seems quite lovely, so knowing you probably tricked her into signing a pact to come join you or something. Since you weren't allowed on Olympus, why not have Olympus come to you?
Ha! Surprisingly not distant from the truth. I took her, boy. I took her down with me. Is that what you wish to hear? Does that anger you? Come, bring forth that anger then.
Damn. A come at me, son. Not even a come at me, bro.
Darkness.
Excuse you. My blood's boiling.
Observe.
Whoop. 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 Don't mind me, I'm just whooping. Can finally leave the convenience store? That sounds terribly inconvenient, though.
Darkness.
Won't you be inconvenienced if you're not in the convenience store? Whoop. Woo! Oh, I didn't whoop properly. I whooped when I should have whooped. Oh, please die. Okay. Oh, God.
Help with something, Father?
Oh, I got the job offer. I can leave the convenience store. Got it. It's not that you were trapped at a convenience store. It's that there was a job. It's a job situation. Leave as in no longer work. Okay. I thought that you were like trapped in a convenience store being very convenienced and that you were finally able to leave. And that was somehow exciting because you just like hate convenience, I guess. That's what I assumed was happening. Frankly, like I would just pull up next to the Arizona iced tea section and maybe get a few Oreos myself. But congratulations on job.
There.
Okay, my dad. Give me your second health bar.
I shall not fall to you again.
You want to tangle with us?
That blasted.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Back to whooping. Okay, I am taking a bit of a beating. I'm doing this cool strategy where I just like fucking take spears to the face. It's a really cool strategy.
What's the matter, boy?
I am kind of kicking his ass though. See if I can do this without having to use a Death Defiance. Almost. Yay! 1 life.
You cannot escape.
I don't think I have the 3rd health bar enabled right now. I'm pretty sure not. Yeah, okay.
Strength fails.
The 3rd health bar is brutal. Got it.
I did it.
Hey, I'm on a clearing record. Hell yeah. I killed my dad. Get wrecked, my dad. All right, let me go talk to my mom and die, and then I'm gonna get some lunch. Get riggedy wrecked, Dag. He did get riggedy wrecked. That feels good because this morning I was playing on my other save file, and I really tried to make a build that was just gonna destroy him, and it did not work at all.
Except
Rip Papa. Yeah, so now there's no more Hades, but that means that it's okay. It means that I am the king of the underworld. I am the underlord. I am the underwear now.
Done.
So if you need underwear, come talk to me.
I can't.
I've had Hades runs where I thought I only had 2 health bars, then I get to the dad fight and panic when the 3rd health bar shows up. I've had so many runs recently where I've lost because I was operating under the assumption that I had 1 more death defiance than I actually did. And then I die, and that's the end of the run. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? But that's what happens when you're lazy, like me. Anyway, I'm gonna go get lunch. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Let me plug a few things. We've got the merch store, which is going to have a couple new items in it tomorrow. We've got the VODs channel, as said before, where you can catch all my VODs. This one will be up in just a few hours. We've also got, my main YouTube channel, where you should absolutely follow me. That's like my main focus these days, especially since TikTok might be going away again. Otherwise, join the Discord, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Thank you all so very much. I'm going to be back on, what day is it? Thursday. I will see y'all on Tuesday for the next stream. Take care. See you when I see you. Bye-bye.